We are back with this final portion of Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, getting wise to bullying. It continues to be an issue gripping schools across the country. Here today, Terry Lyles, an international educator and speaker with a new anti-bullying campaign rolling out in many U.S. schools this year. First, though, one of the things you coach companies and others to do is that bullying is only a symptom, right?
That's correct.
And now, how do you get people to open up about bullying with teenagers specifically, who are, so monosyllabic or just not willing to communicate?
Yeah, well, the whole symptom problem issue is tricky because, bullying is usually a symptom of something else. Insecurity, fear, threat, danger, things going on at home, things going on in their neighborhoods that we don't know about, whatever that might be. The issue is, how do we counterbalance that? And the first part of that is open up to communication. We have to talk to our young people. We have to keep a dialogue going. I call it the engine oil to any relationship. If you take the oil out of your car, your engine seizes up by heat. So it needs to stay cool with viscosity, that it's moving and it's vacillating. And that's what communication is. So the lack of communication can be disastrous. And a lot of bullying can be preempted if we understand what's going on inside of that young person.
If you're one of those parents or friends that are already in the deep end with somebody who's going through bullying, what should you look out for in terms of, other than a lack of communication, that there might be something going on?
Sure, behavioral changes. Are they quieter than normal? You mentioned, adolescents, the teen years are quiet a lot around home, but very vocal with their friends. Watch communication changes with their friends. Make sure you're monitoring their social media posts. A lot of bullying goes on in social media that's never really known about until it's too late. So you got to monitor all levels of communication, and that's where the antidote to this is kids need to be inspired. So an inspired kids process is, how do we inspire our kids? You don't have to motivate inspired people. They just do what they do, and they do it because they want to do it correctly, and that's part of our program.
Yeah, we have here on our screen 3 points for tackling bullying that you're focusing on.
Yes.
What are those? Walk them through us.
Well, the social side, you want to make sure that you're doing it in your community. So it's a neighborhood watch piece. You want to make sure your neighbors are good. You want to make sure that as they're going back and forth to school, that they're safe on the bus, if they're taking the bus, or if they're walking, commuting. So the social issue, the conversation has to change. I'm going to Washington, D.C. this week, and we're talking about doing an anti-bullying piece starting in Washington, D.C. with an alert program called Kids Alert. And it's, if there's any type of bullying or potential issue in a school or a school district, there would be an alert system like an Amber Alert. So that's part of the social issue, is communication.
And not being afraid to say something when you notice it going on.
See something, say something.
Right. I saw that economic was also up there.
Economic, well, because depending on where you grow up, what neighborhood you're in, the resources that are available can make a difference. It shouldn't, but it still does, unfortunately. So wherever you grow up, whatever part of the city you live in can make a difference. We just moved to Wellington out here, which is a great area. We love horses, and we're in that area. And our son's had some safety issues already this year. And he goes to Binks Elementary. It's a great school. And it's not the school, the education's phenomenal. Teachers are great. There's a security breach, meaning who's in charge and who's watching out for whom.
Right.
And thankfully we had neighbors that were able to help take care of that for us. So that's the social side of it.
Right. Terry, definitely a lot to talk about, but with our last 15 seconds, there's a new clothing line rolling out this year that you want to talk to us a little bit about?
That's correct. It's my wife's clothing line under e7.com is what it's called, but it's actually called Inspired Kids, KIDZS. And that's what's going to be the actual push in Washington, D.C. We want to get it there to say, hey, look, we want to start this alert system. So the clothing is, on Thursday, pink is an international day for anti-bullying. And a lot of people don't know that, internationally, which is pretty incredible. So we have a pink shirt line. They're pink, they're white, they're black, they're yellow, different colors. But it's a program that actually will allow kids to know that it's not cool to bully. It's more cool to say something about it and inspire others to do the same.
Right, and thank you for speaking up about that.
You're
Terry
welcome.
Lyles, thank you. Kadia, over to you.